Hey guys, so if you've followed us for any amount of time, you know how much we value reading and just the accumulation of knowledge. Warren Buffett says that it's compounding, so the more knowledge you get along the way, the more wisdom you're going to have about whatever it is you're reading about. And so for us, I'm not a fiction guy when it comes to reading. I like a lot of books that are going to help me spiritually, help me physically, help me from a business standpoint, but also help me raise my kids. So we have a multiplicity of things that we read and we recommend, just something on all those different fronts, whether you follow our podcast or just our videos on all the social media platforms or our blog at millfit.co. Any of the things, you're going to at some point find something about books and how important they are in my life. So what we're going to talk about today is reading and how you can read 100 books. Now, the biggest thing that people discredit for not reading enough is time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this thing down so that it's pretty manageable on how you can read 100 books a year. Is this easy? Absolutely not. Does this take discipline? Yes. Okay. I'm reading a book right now called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it's very, very good. He talks about habits and how they compound on each other. And so the things we're going to talk about today are habits that you can do now that they're going to reap benefits down the road. We are an instant gratification society, but the good habits that we create right now are typically not instant gratification habits. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about reading and how you can get 100 books in a year. And so the first thing is we're going to talk about the audio aspect of this. And so audio aspect is something I picked up a handful of years ago, and I've recommended it to so many people. Audible is what I use. It doesn't have to be the thing that you use. There's so many different platforms out there. It's just what we use and why I like it. So we're going to talk about the different ways that you can consume these audiobooks, because you're not going to want to just sit down and listen to books. And so, but there's a lot of times when you're doing things throughout the day that you can take in knowledge and take in wisdom. And sometimes you just don't want to. You sometimes want to veg out, and I get that. So let's talk about those things. So let's talk about workouts. So when you work out, okay, let's take 30 minutes, 5 days a week. So you talk about 30 minutes times 5, okay? You can be listening to an audiobook when you're doing that. Also, on your commute, let's just say you have an average of a 15-minute commute, okay? And you're going to do that 2 times a day. So you've got 30 minutes on your commute, and then you've got 30 minutes a day when you work out. All right. Now, here's the key. The key is to listen to the audiobooks on a faster speed than 1.0. Because if you're listening on 1.0, you're not going to get through it. Because the average audio book is about 8 hours. Okay? Just on average. Hardly any of the books that I listen to are 8 hours. I'm hitting in that 4 to 6 hour range on the length of my audiobooks. But what I do, and this is key, is I listen to a speed at 1.75. Okay? So at the bottom right of the Audible app, you can go to 1.75 or 1.5, and you can listen to the speed of the reader faster than just as I'm talking to you right now. You can still take it in. I promise you can. It's going to be very, very fast to start off with, but you will soon get used to it, and when you go back to 1, it's going to be a lot slower. So if you go to 1.75, and while you work out, this is if you just work out 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and you go for 30 minutes there, this will give you an hour, okay? If you take these 2 on your commute, if your commute's 15 minutes. My commute in the morning is 20, my commute in the afternoon is 25, so I can get more in if I needed to. So I'm just using good round numbers. This gives us 1 hour a day to where we can listen to audiobooks. Listening at 1 hour a day at 1.75 will get you 300 minutes in a week. Okay, the average book is 8 hours, which is 274 minutes. So average is 274 minutes. But if you do this at 1.75, you will get in 300 minutes, which will give you 1 book a week. Now, I'm saying 1 book a week. That's on 52 weeks in a year. Take 2 weeks out of that thing just because of vacation and you just not been in your routine. So you're already at 50 books a year just on an audio standpoint, okay? So you can listen to 1 book a week if you do this for 30 minutes while you work out, but also for on your way to work and on your way away from work. Now, if you've got a long commute, if you live in a bigger city or you're on a train or whatever, you can get more time in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the actual book. Now, whether you are a reader on an iPad, like my dad, for example, my dad reads on an iPad. My mom reads on a Kindle. I look at the screen enough with my laptop and on the phone, working, things like that. I like to read an actual book, okay? I also love to have a library in case I need to pull and refer to that as well. And so everybody's got their thing, okay? So reading actual books, this is what we like to do. So let's just talk about actual books. So if you take on actual books 30 minutes a day and you go 6 days a week, okay? That's very easy, whether it's in the morning, in the afternoon, or 30 minutes at a time, whatever that is, 30 minutes a day. 6 days a week, okay? What this will do is this will get you right at 180 pages in these 6 days, okay? The average book is 240 pages, and the average person reads 250 words per minute. Average page in a book is 250 words. So what that does, that gives you a page minute, which this equates right here to 180 pages. So if you take one other day a week on day 7, and you read for an hour, okay, that will get you to your 240 pages. That will get you to the amount of pages that you could read to read one book. Now, there's a lot of books out there that are not 240 pages, but then there are also a lot of books out there that are 400 pages. So 240 is a good balance in there in between. So what this will do is this will get you at 50 books a year from a reading standpoint, and this will get you from the audio standpoint, will get you to 50 books a year. Let me tell you something right now. If you were to read 100 books a year, the amount of knowledge that you would have would be astronomical, okay? There are so many lists and things out there, from business to parenting to spiritual to all the different things that you can do, that if you retain that information and read that information, it is so worth it. If you get one thing that you can take and physically apply to your life, your business, your marriage, your family, it is absolutely worth it. Go out there, figure it out, how that you can make time to read. It is a discipline that will last a lifetime. We just signed our kids up for a class in the summer so that they can read and have better comprehension, better phonics, all those different types of things. So hope you enjoyed this. If you follow what we talked about today, you can get in 100 books a year, and some of this is very, very easy to do. All you have to do is be disciplined about what you're doing. So, hey, thank you so much, guys. If you have any questions, please email us, thomas@milfit.co, thomas@milfit.co, and we look forward to serving you in the future. Thanks, guys.